Hello and welcome to the third video in this series, and this is about influence. So thinking about your four-directional internal compass, this is about the influence that you're having. So as with the other sections, the worksheet is designed so that you can score yourself where you think you are today out of 10 and where you'd like to be in the next 3 months or 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. What score would you like to mark yourself out of 10? And we'll close the gaps between that score that you've given yourself today and the score that you want to achieve in the next time period, whatever that might be for you. Now, when I think about influence, I think about how others are listening to you, how others are absorbing you, how is your audience reacting to what you say, what you do, how you're showing up, where you're showing up. What is it that you're being known for? What is it that you're not known for? And think about this in your sphere, whether that's a career or a business. Think about the audience that you have. And if we think about this pond idea where you're the pebble, so you throw the pebble into the middle of the pond, and the ripples of influence go to the edges of the pond. So how big is your pond? And think about that from your total audience size, but then start thinking about the different levels and the depth of those connections and those spheres of influence that you have. So if you're in a career, for example, think of yourself as an executive in the C-suite level. Like me, for last 10, 15 years of my executive career, I was CFO. So my inner sphere of influence is those 5 key executives and board members that are very much being influenced and really close to me. So watching everything I do and say, or don't say. So have a think about your 5 key deep circle of people that you influence. And so if you're in business, is that your client base? Is it potentially people that are watching you that should be a client of yours? Think about the different levels. So you've got the first sphere of influence that may be 5 people. The next sphere might be the next 25 people. The next sphere might be the next 50 people. And then the next sphere may be 150 people. So depending on the size of your audience, you can think about how each of your people that are watching and listening to you, where they fit in those different circles. Thinking about that really helps with the amount of effort and the amount of time that you invest into each one of those spheres, because you really need to be managing them all, but maybe not in the same level of energy and investment of time or money, managing them all in the same way. So I think it's really key for you to understand your audience. If you're in a career and your objective is to build and take the next step in the next 3 years, you need to be really thinking about your audience, because you might not think about how others are seeing you. So if you're in a career role, then you need to think about your team and your peers, but then bigger picture, how's the rest of the business interacting with you? How are they consuming you? Are you invisible? Do they know who you are? Are you speaking at town hall meetings? Are you leading a project? Things like this. It's really important to think about the sphere of influence that you have and where you want to get to. And that will really help you to close the gaps. When you're thinking about your stakeholders and the people in your audience, you can think about how they are consuming you. What is their preferred method of communication? Do they like email? Do they like you talking to them or texting them or meeting with them? What are their personality types? Are they the amiable type? Are they the analytical type? Are they the driver? So thinking about your audience the whole time. So it's never about me, it's about my audience. And so that's how we should be thinking, whether or not we're in career or business. We should always be thinking about, what are people saying? What are people thinking? What are they doing? How do I want them to be thinking about me? What I want them to say about me when I'm not in the room? And then you can target your language, your messages in a way that your audience can hear or is ready to hear. We know that the way that people consume what we say or social media tends to be a 10-10-10 rule. You need to say one thing 10 times in 10 different ways in 10 different audiences so that they actually might take 10% of what you're saying. So 10-10-10, which is a bit scary because we invest so much of our time thinking that everyone's listening and hearing us, but only potentially 10% of your audience is actually even seeing you, certainly online. So have a think about where you sit today, where your current state is, what your current score is, where you want to be in the next time period, and what might be some of the tasks that you need to complete in order to raise the bar from where you are today to where you want to be. And that really is around thinking of your own pond. How many people are in your audience? How are they listening to you? How are they consuming you? Maybe even characterize the different types of people and the different ways that they are consuming you. So I hope that's helped, and I look forward to talking to you on the fourth one around ideation.